Here's my morning routine as a runner, approaching almost 40 years old, juggling with a busy work schedule, staying pain free despite old injuries, and living a plant based, caffeine free life. No fluff, just what works. For you guys who are new to my page, my name is Dr. Ray Peralta. I'm a physical therapist and run coach, and I've been helping runners get out of pain and improve their performance for the past 10 years now. And here today, I'm just going to share my morning routine because let's be real, stiff joints, reoccurring pain, and burnout don't fix themselves. But a few daily habits can change anything, can change everything. So I like to wake up around 5 a.m. and not because it's the hustle culture, because I have to, but because if I don't move first thing in the morning, my body lets me know hard, right? I've experimented with this where I just let, like, oh, let me just go to work and ignore my, like a morning movement practice. Joints start all achy. I start getting back pain, knee pain. I'm sweating my legs even start to lock up. I could barely walk. People are like, oh, why are you limping? And so I've dealt with reoccurring back, knee pain, even some ankle Achilles pain over the years. And one thing I've learned as a physical therapist is that stiffness is often the warning sign before pain, right? So, it's like stiffness, it's often that first indicator light. And if you start ignoring that, then it starts building up to like full blown pain when the joint surfaces around it are moving properly or the muscles like lock up. So I start every day with yoga or targeted mobility or stretches. For those tight areas, like a lot of yoga, I'm a big fan of yoga because there's a lot of back movements involved, like stretching my back. Further, getting the hips worked out as well. And then if I notice that, hey, let's say my back's really achy today, I'll spend additional time on a foam roller, foam rolling out my back or my quads, for example, whatever feels tight. And it's not optional to me. It's like a daily, probably like brushing your teeth. You don't skip brushing your teeth. I do it every single day. Keep the joints nice and mobile, uh, keeping them loose, happy, right? And it's maintenance work. It's maintenance work to help prevent future recurrence of injury, right? This is a thing I see so many people kind of drop off on it as a physical therapist. Like, oh, I had this pain in the past, and now I'm back 6 months later because they're not keeping up with the maintenance mobility work to keep the tissues limber and letting things lock up or stiffen up, and then pain comes back again. Next, I'm also not a coffee drinker. I know some people may be surprised because you hear a lot of mixed opinions that, oh, is coffee good for you or not? So I used to drink coffee in the past years ago, but I gave up on it. Why? Because I noticed that for myself, I would actually get more jittery. It actually will start causing me to feel anxious. I'm like, why the heck am I anxious? Just because I just drank a cup of coffee. And honestly, it's also loaded with a lot of chemicals or toxins that most people don't even know about it. I'm talking about like most commercially available coffee. See, roasted coffee contains over 800 toxic compounds, some of which are even proven rodent carcinogens. That means they cause cancer in rodents and animal models. So not exactly health food that I want to be putting in my body. I know this is an opinion. Some people may disagree with me. That's fine. But for me, I like to just stick with just warm water, a little bit of honey, calms my system, hydrates me, and gives me that steady start without relying on this chemical of caffeine and getting an artificial like energy boost and then being jittery or anxious throughout the day. Next, I'm also after I do that, my morning routine of like the mobility stretching work, I'll start, working on my business. Again, I have my online business, a run coach, and then I'll have my breakfast will be a protein shake. I don't like having like to prepare a big meal. I just keep it simple, but I'm plant based. So I'll do either pea or rice pea protein, mix it in with a plant based milk, for example, like oat milk. I used to do dairy in the past, but I found that dairy just kind of caused me issues, caused me bloating and sensitivity, all sorts of health, even actually achy joints and stuff when I was heavy on like dairy or even gluten as well. So I'm actually dairy free and gluten free. But anyhow, going back to my smoothie or my shake here, so I like to do about 2 scoops of the plant-based protein again, and then like 2 cups of plant-based milk, and then I'll even add a little bit of quarter teaspoon of sea salt to give me about 575 milligrams of sodium to support hydration, electrolyte, and muscle function, and also help get my protein needs. And then throughout the day, you'll also be drinking fluids, right? So I try to shoot for 3 liters of water per day, but I'll spread that out. I'm not going to drink all 3 liters first thing in the morning, unless I'm going like, I may go like for a liter in the morning if I'm going on a long run or if it's like a hot summer day. But for the most part, I try to split out my water, my fluid intake throughout the day. And I'm also obviously getting some fluid with the 2 cups of plant-based milk. And some people are like, "Wait, why are you adding salt?" I'm not scared of salt. The low sodium myth is outdated, right? More current research shows that 3 to 6 grams per day is optimal for most adults, especially active ones like runners, which is about 1 1/3 to 2 2/3 teaspoons of salt. This is different than what's typically shown in the mainstream like medicine, where it's like, oh, you have to do less than 1 teaspoon of salt per day, right? Oftentimes, salt was being blamed for issues that was actually coming from like having high sugary diets or high processed foods diet, like the trans fats and stuff, which is more the issue than just the salt that was present in the foods. Next, some other days I may do yoga, my mobility routine, and then do like running or lifting. But being that I have like a very busy season right now, again, growing my business and then also working full time as a physical therapist, I'll often do my run at my lunchtime, and then I'll do a lifting session in the evening after I get home from work. So I might do some weights or calisthenics, strength training. And that's what works with my schedule right now. It may vary, it may change. Ideally, I would like to do the run and yoga most days in the morning, but I'm not going to force myself. It's about consistency, not perfection. I don't force an early morning run if it doesn't fit my schedule. I personally rather prioritize my mobility versus running on stiff, achy joints and then making my body kind of get more stiff or achy, because running for me can flare up like my knee pain, for example, if I don't take care of the mobility first. Right, so I like to prioritize mobility first, and then I'll do the running later in the afternoon or the evening. Right, that just works better for my schedule now. But on the weekend, I'll do both. I'll do the mobility, I'll do the yoga, stretching in the morning, and then right after that same morning, or then I'll go for the run. But like Monday to Friday, again, my running will be more in the afternoon or evening. So as a coach and physical therapist, I've learned an ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure. And then you may be asked about why you're a physical therapist. Why don't you trust the traditional healthcare system? See, I don't trust. Well, some people call it healthcare. I call it the sick care system, because in the past I noticed, if I let injuries linger, that blow up, months off. Okay, go see a doctor. Doctor wants to prescribe pills, injections, and doesn't really address like lifestyle factors. Doesn't try to get to the root cause of the issue, right? They're just quick to prescribe a medication. They'll maybe get some imaging for you, like an X-ray or an MRI, but then they often try to put you on the cycle of being dependent on a pain pill. And I'm not a big fan of that. And the traditional medical system is built to manage symptoms, not create true long-lasting health, right? Prevention unfortunately doesn't make the money. They're more about the profits of, hey, this is the pill, the imaging service I could provide you to make profits for the healthcare system. And here's the truth: 90% of chronic diseases, whether it's heart issues, diabetes, and even musculoskeletal pain, a lot of people don't even realize is like chronic musculoskeletal pain can be prevented and even if you already have ongoing pain, you could actually manage it quite well with proper exercise and nutrition. People don't realize how powerful exercise can be with actually helping to revert, like lower blood pressure, help you get out of pain. But it has to be the right exercise, and that's where being a trained physical therapist comes in. Some people's like, oh, but I'm in pain, I don't know what exercise to do. Yes, there's a right exercise you could do to get out of pain, and even nutrition can influence pain as well. Some people don't even realize that certain foods can cause inflammation in the body and cause pain to persist. So when you have proper exercise, proper nutrition, you could be like me, someone who dealt with chronic pain issues like chronic low back pain, chronic recurring knee pain, to a thing where it's like now almost a thing of the past. And I just have to do the maintenance work just to stay healthy. And I don't have to be going to current doctor's visits and offices, having to take pain pills or being addicted to strong medications. So many of my clients who I've worked with in the past, I've been on prescription medications for years for pain. I'm just talking, and I'm like, you don't even have to be on these prescription pain medications if you just manage your body properly and did these healthy lifestyle medicine interventions, right? Proper exercise, sleep, nutrition to avoid that. So if you're in your 30s, 40s, or beyond, build the healthy habits now, and they'll pay off later. So if you're running with a runner with a busy life, start your day with movement, hydration, and feel that actually supports your goals and your body. Your future self will thank you. And if you found this helpful, subscribe and check the link in the description below for my free training on how to run faster without getting hurt. So train smart, recover smarter, and stay pain-free.